Hey guys, welcome to my video. Thank you very much for checking it out. I really appreciate it. Just want to give a huge thank you to these guys though, because they are the absolute best for supporting me on Patreon. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without you, so thank you so much. It means the world to me. If you want to check out my Patreon, link is in the description. If not, that's fine too. Other than that, enjoy the video. Hello! That is not my intro. Hi, it's fucking Blue the Dragon. And today I thought it would be, that was a loud clap, I thought it would be fun to share some life hacks with you, because life is shit. It really is, and it could always be easier. That's why there is so many life hacks around to make people's everyday lives, everyday tasks a little bit easier. But of course, I'm a furry, and you're a furry, I'm assuming. If you're not, what are you doing here? Run. But assuming that you are a furry, and I am definitely a furry, we can't just use normal people life hacks. We're not normal people. We are in fact incredibly special and deserve incredibly special life hacks to go along with that. So that being the case, I've compiled a lovely little list of furry specific life hacks, and some of these are jokes, some of these are serious, and I really hope you can tell the difference, because if not, oh honey. Real quick before we get into the video though, I just want to thank Furry Amino. Thank you, Furry Amino, for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. If you don't know what Furry Amino is, it's a social networking platform for the furry fandom, and it's brilliant. Fantastic. I'll tell you a bit more about Furry Amino later in the video, but thank you very much for sponsoring me. I really appreciate it. Let's go. So the first set of life hacks I have for you all revolve around getting art, because as we all know, if you don't have art in the fandom, why are you even in it? Just get out. Get art or get out. Ugh. That was a joke. I don't know why I feel like I need to clarify that, but I am gonna. That was a joke. However, not everybody has the expendable income to buy art. Some people don't have the expendable income to buy art and they still do it anyway. So I guess that's a life hack. Just spend money you don't really have. But another way you can get some art is to draw your own, and I know maybe you don't draw. Maybe you could practice, maybe you could learn. You don't need the most stunning art in the world to represent your character, so if you don't have anything except a little doodle that you've done yourself, that's better than nothing. So drawing your own, even if it's not a masterpiece, is still gonna be like, oh hey, I've put down that onto paper or onto a screen or whatever, and now people can see the crazy animal person I developed in my head. But if you can't draw or just can't be bothered to learn, you can always sign up for a Twitter account and keep an eye out for free art raffles. That's right, a lot of artists on... That's right, that's right. That is right. Had a bit of a moment there. A lot of artists on Twitter will do raffles for certain milestones when they reach followers and things like that, and the way it works is you do a retweet of their raffle post, you give them some exposure by retweeting, commenting, all of that, and in turn, they select one of the possibly thousands of people that gave them exposure to give them some free art. Seems like a pretty good deal to me. And if you're still not satisfied, another option for you is to find a traceable base. A lot of artists will make really basic line work of characters with different species, or maybe a generic species that you can alter, and then you can take that into a program or print it out, trace over it with your own design, and that way you have something to work from and it's not quite as daunting as completely drawing a character from scratch. So go get yourself some art, or draw some, or trace some, but don't trace actual art, because that's not okay. Unless you have permission from the artist. That's okay. The second category I have for you today is all about conventions. Furry conventions. Now, if you can't afford to attend a convention, I understand, I get it. There's been many conventions I really wanted to go to, but either because of travel, or the convention cost itself, or having, you know, food money at the convention, I just didn't quite have enough money to make it. And that's something you need to take into account. You can't just be like, oh, I booked the hotel, paid for the convention, wow, awesome, I'm going. You still need to get there, and you still need to eat food, and you might want to buy some stuff. So budgeting is really something that's very important with conventions. Yup. But if you're terrible at budgeting or are just generally quite poor, I have some hacks for you. Let's go. Now, if you can't afford to attend a convention, but you can manage to get to the hotel, you could always just sit in the lobby. Now, I'm not sure I would encourage this because it might anger the convention you're turning up at. However, the hotel lobby is kind of okay to be in. You're not actually attending any of the official events, nor are you going into the area that the con has had to pay for to use. So really, you're not costing them anything, nor are you like stealing or anything, just by sitting in the lobby and chatting with some friends. It's totally something you can do. You can just walk into a hotel lobby and chat with people. The hotel probably won't question you because they know there's a convention on, so they probably just assume you're part of the convention. And the convention probably won't question you because there's so many attendees there. So it is something you can do and that is technically okay. but you might be pushing it. Also, as an extension on that, if you go into the lobby and you don't see any friends to interact with or no one's giving you any attention, just flail about madly. Someone will give you some form of interaction, even if it's just the con staff kicking you out. At least you got human interaction. Now, if you don't want to actually travel to the con, but you still want to kind of have a con experience, you could just watch con videos on YouTube. There are a lot. There is so much furry content on YouTube now, way more than when I started posting videos on this channel back in 2014. So there are so many people sharing their con experiences, which is absolutely fantastic. If you can't afford to go to a con, or you've never been to one, or anything like that, watching a con video is a really good way to get a vibe of what con experiences are like. Everyone has a different one, but watching somebody's experience at a con is a great way to go, oh, I might enjoy that, that, and that. Maybe I'll give it a go. Or, oh, I was too poor to go, but at least I got to see that, that, and that. Yeah. If that's still not cutting it for you though, you can always go back and watch my video on how to have your very own furry convention and just follow the steps in that. Link is in the description. However, if you're still really keen on going to a con and you still don't have the money, maybe you could stay at a friend's place who lives nearby the con and you could save a lot of money on a hotel room. Or maybe you could stay at another hotel. I don't know why it was really hard for me to remember that one. A lot of times the hotel that the convention is actually in is going to be more expensive than any surrounding hotels, partially because you're paying for the convenience, partially because conventions have to pick big, fancy hotels to please people, but basically, the surrounding hotels, there's probably a good deal there, and if you don't mind a bit of a walk into the convention each day, it's going to save you some money. That's what I normally do. Also, keep an eye out for con-specific discounts, because a lot of conventions will partner with nearby businesses and restaurants and things like that, so that attendees of the convention can go get a cheap meal, but it also drives a lot of business to those specific businesses because of the discount. So it's a win-win situation for the con, yourself, and the business is getting more of your money. I love it. Discounts are everything. So the next section of life hacks is all about finding friends in the fandom, or gaining popularity in the fandom, because as we all know, the fandom is actually just one big popularity contest. That's all it is. What, no one told you that? Oh, sweetie. So if you do want to find some more friends in the fandom slash gain popularity, one of the first things you can do is be an interesting person. Actually being interesting, being someone that people want to talk to, helps a lot. And I'm not saying put on anything, I'm not saying pretend to be someone that you're not, I'm just saying put forward your interests, talk about things that excite you, and other people will connect with that. They'll connect with you, bonding over those similar interests. And that honestly goes for both making friends and gaining popularity. If you did want to make something like a YouTube channel to gain popularity, talking about things you're genuinely excited or interested in is going to bring in like-minded people, they're going to connect with your personality, and that's the best way to do it. However, if that's not working for you, if you're just incapable of being an interesting person, buy a fursuit. Or art. You can also buy lots and lots and lots of art and people might want to talk to you then, but you only have to buy one fursuit and everyone wants to be your friend. That one's definitely a joke, but it's also very sadly true. But let's say you've got that, you bought the fursuit, you've also got lots of art, and you've even tried being an interesting person and still, no one gives any shits about you. Start some drama. Seriously, if you want attention, be it good or bad, find someone who's popular, find someone with a big following, and start some shit with them. People will pay attention then. It might not be good attention, but at this point, I'm guessing you're desperate. I might tweet Telephone and tell her she's a bitch just for fun. She's not. She's a gorgeous person and I love her, but people would pay attention if I did. But if you've tried all of these and it's still not working, you still can't find any friends, I've got another step for you. In fact, you should probably try this one first, because I think it would actually work. Furry Amino. So this is Amino. Bam. It scrolls. It's got features. And basically Furry Amino is just a social network for the furry fandom, which is perfect because if you're trying to find friends in the furry fandom, they're here. They're right here doing the same thing, trying to find you. Hello, come be my friend. Amino actually covers tons of different fandoms and topics, so there's a bunch of different apps and social networks, but this one in particular is the furry one. So this is the one for you, this is the one for me, this is the one for, you know, Jenny down the block. She's a furry, but she's closeted about it, and I'm trying to help her with Amino. Now what can you do on Furry Amino? What's Furry Amino got to offer? A lot. You can communicate with other users in so many different ways, including private chat or group chat with both voice and text messaging. You could do polls, you could comment on photos, you can post your own photos and artwork. On top of that, you can also do quizzes to challenge yourself and test yourself on common knowledge about the fandom or things related to the fandom. You can have live chats for scheduled releases to talk about things that have just come out. It's absolutely amazing. There's so many ways to connect with other people and so many ways to inspire yourself and grow within the fandom, which is, it just sounds really corny to be honest, but it's true. Now what do I use Furry Amino for? mostly to connect with you guys. I love the polls on there because I love putting out a question and finding out what the general consensus is, what you guys want to see me do next and how you want to see me do it. I use it a lot for the production of my videos to find out what's going to be the most exciting for you guys. So if you really want to be involved in how I create and what I create, following me on Furry is a great way to do it. Link is in the description, or you can just search in the members for Blue, B-L-U, with an umlaut. That's the 2 dots over the U, but it's easier to probably just click the link in the description, hey. Also, I want to include Furry in more of my videos. I want to get you guys to actually do things that will be part of the video. So if you want to be part of that, definitely make sure to follow me. I've got plenty of ideas going around in my head, but none that actually make enough sense to put into words. So we'll see how that goes. Thinking I might do a Furry specific Q&A really soon. So if you want to be part of that, download Furry. But yeah, please check it out, guys. All the links are in the description, and it is available on Android and iOS. And yeah, thank you, Amino, for sponsoring this video. Really appreciate it. Moving on. Fursuits. These are all life hacks for fursuits. Get ready. Because I mentioned before that if you want to have friends or be popular, you can just buy a suit. But what if you can't buy a suit? What if you don't have the money for a suit? Here's some options for you. Well, you can make your own. But like, that's a lot of work, and it probably won't look how you want it to. So another solution would just be grow your body hair. All over. The longest you possibly can. Get some body hair growth supplements if they exist. Just do that. Just become the fursuit. I don't think that's actually possible, but try for me, please. And now if that doesn't work, which I'm pretty sure it won't, you can just glue patches of fur all over yourself. Just get a hot glue gun, squirt it on the back of the fur, slap, slap, slap. You are the fursuit, honey. Thanks very much to V the Gator on Twitter for that suggestion. But of course, if you don't want burns all over your body, then you could just wrap yourself in the fur, and if you don't happen to have a huge sheet of fur just lying around your house for whatever reason, then wrap yourself in some towels. And if anybody tries to come for you about the fact you're just wrapped in towels, be like, hey, my fursona is special. My fursona is unique. My fursona will not be torn down by your preconceived notions of what a fursona should be, okay? And then block them on Twitter. And if none of those tickle your fancy, just not doing it for you, just draw your sona on your face. Find whatever you can, paint, crayon, Sharpies, makeup. Just live your life. Become the weird animal creature you've always wanted to be. Live the fantasy. Now, for the majority of these life hacks so far, I've kind of assumed that you already have a fursona. But what if you don't? No way. If you're having trouble creating a fursona that is honestly fair, creating a character from scratch that represents you perfectly is not an easy thing to do. So I've got some life hacks. I don't know what that was. Number 1, buy and adopt. If you're having trouble coming up with a sona and you have some money to spare, have a look for some artists who create characters and then sell them. Maybe you'll find one that suits you, or if it doesn't suit you, at least you like it enough. Better than nothing. If you don't want to buy and adopt, you can always just open a wildlife book, close your eyes and point at a random page, then pick that animal for your sona and just kind of copy whatever the book said it looked like. But that's not exactly going to get you an interesting result. If you do want an interesting result though, I've got the solution for you. Basically, you're going to need a bunch of tubs or hats and a bunch of pieces of paper. Then you're going to split up the tubs or hats by a section of that fursona, be it their species, their head, their fur color, their legs, stuff like that. And then write a bunch of different options for each of those categories, put them in the tubs/hats, then just pick them out at random and you have yourself a fursona. Ha! I'm actually thinking of making this particular hack its own video, because that way I could do it like 2 or 3 times and then draw the results of the abominations I create. Sounds pretty fun. And then the last category is just general life hacks, and I only have 2 because they're important, but I didn't know where to put them. The first one is just, showers are better when you use soap. I'm not trying to be a dick, but there is actually something about this fandom and its lack of hygiene. Now for fursuiters, I get it. You've been running around getting hot, wrapped up in fur, getting a bit sweaty. You might be a little bit gross and your hygiene might seem a little bit poor afterwards. That's fine, understandable. But for those without a fursuit, what are you doing? Why do you still smell like a 5-week-old dog shit wrapped in a burrito? Why? Showers are fun. Showers are pretty cool. Water like falls on you. It's like rain indoors. It's pretty exciting. And they're even better when you use soap. Because then you like, don't smell like shit afterwards. So I have one last life hack, and this one comes from the fact that a lot of the other hacks were kind of working around being poor. And this last hack is to just get a job. Surprisingly enough, when you go and do work for people, they usually compensate you with some sort of currency. which can be used to buy things that you want or attend conventions or get fursuits and stuff like that. Honestly, when I learnt this life hack, it blew my mind. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my life hacks. That's all I have so far. I know a lot of these weren't actually useful, so if you were expecting something useful, sorry about it. Maybe I will do a legitimate furry life hacks video. Maybe I'll do another one that is purely jokes, or maybe I'll do another video that is a mixture. Just like this one was. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, and also let me know on Furry Amino what you'd like to see. I'm gonna be putting polls out there asking questions, so answer them, please. Just want to give one more thank you to Furry Amino for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Please check out the app, guys. It's absolutely amazing and it's a great way to connect with me. So download it. Link's in the description. Link to my profile is in the description, and thank you. But yeah, I think that's finally it. I've literally been filming this video for almost an hour and a half because of all the technical issues. I'm very excited to end it now. So with that being it, thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video, but until then, fuck off.